and the Indo-Pacific. In 2024, the dialogue advanced that vision through the theme of security as a driver of nation building. And in 2025, under the Honorable Raksha Mantri Ji's call for the Year of Reforms and the Army Chief's vision of a decade of transformation, we gather on the theme, Reform to Transform, Sashakt, Surakshit or Vikasit Bharat. This theme recognizes a truth every serious nation must internalize today. Traditional boundaries between war and peace have thinned. Gray zone pressures, cyber threats, information warfare, and kinetic conflict now arrive in one continuum. To safeguard India's rise towards Vikasit Bharat 2047, we must reform our structures, our systems, and our thinking continuously and courageously. Across 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, this dialogue has scaled in reach, depth, and global participation, becoming a trusted platform where strategic thinking converts into actionable national inputs. Before the main dialogue, this edition was anchored through 2 important milestones. First, the Young Leaders Forum, specifically held on 31st of October to mark the 150th birth anniversary of the Iron Man of India, truly signifying that national security today is not only a whole-of-nation approach, but whole-of-public responsibility. This event brought together more than 9,000 students, NCC cadets, young researchers, and school leaders, IITians, and universities, having defense wings and memorandums of understanding, both in person and online. Second, the curtain raiser on 17th November opened the strategic frame of this year's dialogue through an inspiring fireside conversation with the Chief of the Army Staff, setting the national and international context for the sessions that follow. With this, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to request the Director General of Center for Land Warfare Studies, Lieutenant General Dushyant Singh, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, on behalf of the Chief of the Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, Indian Army and the Center for Land Warfare Studies, it is my privilege and deep honor to extend a warm welcome to you as we commence this international seminar on the theme Sashakt, Surakshit or Viksit Bharat, the 3rd edition of Chanakya Defense Dialogue 2025. Your gracious presence inspires this gathering and lends profound significance to our event. I also take this opportunity to extend a respectful welcome to Your Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished former chiefs of the armed forces, senior military and government officials, esteemed veterans, leading scholars from academia and think tanks, representatives from the industry and media, and the students from various universities and colleges who reflect the energy and aspirations of rising Bharat. Your participation elevates the stature of this seminar and strengthens its purpose. This year, we are honored by the presence of 9 eminent international speakers from 9 nations, alongside key national voices, including the Raksha Mantri, the Chief of Defense Staff, CEO of Niti Aayog, Defense Secretary, the Chairman of the National Security Advisory Board, senior ambassadors, industry leaders, and accomplished commanders of the armed forces. Your collective wisdom will bring immense value to this platform for dialogue and strategic thought. Over the next 2 days, our discussions will span a spectrum of themes vital to our national security and growth. Insights from Operation Sindoor, the next phase of defense reforms, advancing civil-military fusion, harnessing technologies that will shape the future battle space, and charting the path to transform the Indian Armed Forces into an integrated, agile, and modern force. We aim not merely to exchange ideas, but to identify transformative pathways and strengthen the foundation of Sashakt and Surakshit Bharat. Our intention is not only to share knowledge, but to foster innovation and generate game-changing ideas for national security. We eagerly look forward to the address of the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, whose experience and insights will add immense value to this discourse and help shape the evolution of India's defense preparedness. On behalf of the Indian Army and Clause, I express my sincere appreciation to all participants for your presence and for this overwhelming response. Your experience, scholarship, and innovative spirit you bring to this seminar will add further value. Allow me to conclude with the enduring words of Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, after whom this magnificent convention center has been named. He had said, "There is no higher honor than to be entrusted with the security of the nation." And today, the whole of nation has to come together to ensure robust development for security of the Bharat and growth of Bharat. Thank you and Jai Hind.
In a world of shifting power and evolving threats, Bharat leads with clarity, confidence, and conviction. The Indian Armed Forces move forward, transforming through progressive reforms, building a Sashakt, Surakshit और विकसित भारत. Drawing inspiration from India's civilizational wisdom, previous editions of the Chanakya Defense Dialogue have charted pathways for strategic foresight, cooperation, and resilience. Today, we are crafting a roadmap for a future-ready India. Policy frameworks for leadership, integrating AI, robotics, and autonomous systems. The Indian Army is reshaping the art of modern warfare, powered by India's own satellites watching over every frontier. Reforming the defense ecosystem, fostering indigenous innovation, and fueling India's rise as a global manufacturing hub. The future lies with our youth, and the Indian Army is harnessing their potential into national power. India is ready.
संगीत और सेना ये दो ऐसे हैं जो सारे विश्व में एक दूसरे की भाषा
Driving integration, fostering innovation, and accelerating modernization. For a force ready for multi-domain operations and a nation ready for the future. As Bharat rises to meet the challenges of a new age, the third edition of the Chanakya Defense Dialogue emerges as a beacon of reform, resilience, and renewal for a self-reliant, secure, and transformative tomorrow. At the Chanakya Defense Dialogue, distinguished dignitaries and experts converge to envision the next era of defense and security.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed deeply privileged to have with us the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the Honorable President of India. Her presence today is a catalyst for the Indian military's ongoing journey of modernization and transformation. May I now request the Chief of the Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, to kindly do the honors of felicitating the Honorable President of India. Rashtrapati ji, we are truly grateful for your gracious presence. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to request the Chief of the Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, to deliver the keynote address.
Honorable President of Bharat, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji,
Director General Center for Land Warfare Studies, Your Excellencies and members from Diplomatic Corps, former chiefs, General J.J. Singh, General Naravne, esteemed guests, distinguished scholars, members from the media, ladies and gentlemen, and I must make a special mention of the students from the universities and colleges who are sitting amongst us. A very good morning and Jai Hind to everyone. Madam President, Chanakya Defense Dialogue was instituted in 2023 when my predecessor, General Manoj Pandey, declared the year of transformation for the Indian Army. It underscored that genuine transformation cannot be driven in isolation, as it demands great understanding and cooperation with all stakeholders across the DIME technology spectrum. Since then, this forum has grown in scale, depth, and influence, drawing some of the finest strategic minds from India and abroad. Your presence here today, as the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, is an inspiration and acts as a catalyst in our journey to become a future-ready force, capable of effective deterrence and to prosecute decisive multi-domain operations. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the wider strategic landscape we operate in. We are living in an increasingly multipolar world where major powers are continuously jostling and competing. The world has moved from the Cold War's bipolarity through a brief unipolar moment into an uncertain and fractured order. The long peace is declining and comprehensive conflicts are on the rise. In a world with over 50 ongoing conflicts, saying that we live in a turbulent times may actually be an understatement. So if the globe is swiveling towards national security, deterrence, and warfighting, it inevitably raises a fundamental question for us. How must the Indian military transform to remain decisive and ready in this rapidly evolving global landscape? So the starting point to this question lies in the vision of Honorable Prime Minister, 5S approach, that is Samman, Samvad, Sahyog, Samriddhi, and Suraksha. English, it would mean respect, dialogue, cooperation, prosperity, and security. It guides how the whole of nation ecosystem must deliberate, coordinate, and act through the Amrit Kal towards a Viksit Bharat. It is from this vision that this year's dialogue draws its theme, Reform to Transform, Sashakt, Surakshit, and Viksit Bharat, that is strong, secure, and developed Bharat. Aligned with the national vision of Viksit Bharat, the Indian Army has envisioned a three-phase schema. Phase 1, that is HOP 2032, a comprehensive framework under the decade of transformation or accelerated transition. Phase 2, that is STEP till 2037, a 5-year period of consolidated gains from Phase 1. And of course the Phase 3, that is a jump, 2047, when we graduate to the next level of integrated future-ready force design. Now this trajectory has further been strengthened when Honorable Raksha Mantri designated year 2025 as the year of reforms and proved its merit in Op Sindoor, where years of reform and readiness translated into decisive outcomes. So, as we carry this sovereign strategic success forward for future operations and the larger aspirations of Sashakt, Surakshit, and Viksit Bharat, the real question before us is, what must propel our next leap? It is in that spirit that I will outline a set of springboards that will drive the Indian Army's transformation in the years ahead. The first springboard is Atmanirbharta Swadeshikaran se Sashaktikaran, that is self-reliance, empowerment through indigenization. It remains our first springboard. Its results are visible in defense manufacturing, space achievements, and rapid military technology absorption. Yet, much more remains to be done as we deepen our self-reliant capability base. Second is Anusandhan or Twarit Anusandhan, that is accelerated innovations. While initiatives like IDEX and Aditi are accelerating the idea to prototype pipeline, we must now move on from experimentation to enterprise scale impact at a much faster pace in AI, cyber, quantum, autonomous systems, space, and advanced materials. Third is Anukulan, that is adaptation, reforming the ecosystem. As we align defense architecture with national Atmanirbharta goals, we look forward to concrete suggestions from this dialogue to accelerate the next phase. And the fourth, or the last one, is Ekikaran, that is military-civil fusion. The development of war-fighting capabilities is a multi-agency, multimodal endeavor, wherein the troika of academia, industry, and the military must achieve deep cross-domain synergy. The military is shedding inhibitions, opening ranges, funding startups, and joining national technology missions, and stands ready to strengthen this troika of transformation even further. However, this troika must look at Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, the word is one family, in a collaborative manner for ensuring long-term trusted friendship across the globe. On this note, as we turn to this year's Chanakya Defense Dialogue, we are privileged to host distinguished military leaders, scholars, and experts whose perspectives will sharpen our strategic thinking. I am confident the deliberations today will yield actionable insights to propel our transformation journey forward. My sincere thanks to all participants for enriching this edition of the Chanakya Defense Dialogue. Madam President, may I request you please share your vision and valuable guidance to steer us forward in this vital journey of transformation. Thank you and Jai Hind.
General Upendra Dwivedi, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Dushyant Singh, Director General, Center for Land Warfare Studies, delegates from India and abroad, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar. It gives me immense pleasure to be amongst you at the third edition of the Chanakya Defense Dialogue. It is good to know that eminent members of the strategic community, academia and industry, and the stakeholders will deliberate upon issues that have shaped the security landscape of our nation. The Indian Armed Forces have exemplified professionalism and patriotism in guiding the sovereignty of the India. During every security challenge, whether conventional, counter-insurgency, and humanitarian, our forces have displayed remarkable adaptability and resolve. The recent success of Operation Sindoor stands as a defining moment in our counter-terror and deterrence strategy. The world took note not only of India's military capability, but of India's moral clarity to act firmly yet responsibly in the pursuit of peace. I am happy to know that beyond its operational role, the Indian Defense Forces remain a pillar of national development. Apart from strengthening our frontiers, they have also helped in border area development through infrastructure, connectivity, tourism, and education. Ladies and gentlemen, today's geopolitical landscape is changing rapidly. The international system is being rewritten by contesting power centers, technological disruptions, and shifting alliances. New domains of competition, cyberspace, information, and cognitive warfare are blurring the lines between peace and conflicts. Guided by our civilizational ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we have shown I am happy to know that the Army is transforming itself through quantifiable, deliverable under the decade of transformation. It is reforming structures, reorienting doctrines, and redefining capabilities to the future-ready and mission-capable across all domains. I am confident that these defense reforms will help in making India self-reliant. I am happy to know that the Army is investing in youth and human capital. It is instilling patriotism in youth through education, NCC expansion, and sports. The expansion of the contribution of young women officers and soldiers, both in role and character, would promote the spirit of inclusion. It will also inspire more young women to join Indian Army and take up other professions. I hope that the discussion and outcome of this dialogue will provide valuable insights to policymakers for shaping the future contour our national policy. I am confident that our armed forces will continue to strive for excellence and move ahead with resolve and determination to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. I wish all a bright future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
We thank the Honorable President of India. Ladies and gentlemen, now please rise for the national anthem.